She never said a word until she kissed me. I wasn't meant to walk into her room. It started like any other day. I was at the hospital to visit my best friend, Noah. He had just come out of surgery. Something minor, nothing life-threatening. I brought him his favorite snacks, some dumb magazines, and we talked until the meds knocked him out cold. I stepped out into the hallway, needing air more than coffee. Hospitals always made me feel distant, like I was floating above myself. That's when I saw her. Room 217. The door was half open. I don't know why I looked inside. Maybe it was the soft humming from the machines, or the way the sunlight fell on her bed like it had chosen her and no one else. She lay still, eyes closed, hair gently spread over the pillow like waves, wires running from her arms, machines breathing in place of her lungs. She didn't move, didn't blink, didn't know I existed. And yet, I couldn't look away. Her name was written on the whiteboard beside her bed, Samantha. I stood there longer than I should have. And I came back the next day. At first, I told myself it was just curiosity. But curiosity doesn't bring flowers. It doesn't sit in silence for hours. It doesn't read books out loud to someone who can't respond. I talked to her every day. I told her about the stupid traffic, my childhood fears, the time I almost failed algebra. I talked about movies I loved, songs that made me cry, how I never felt like I was enough for anyone, not even myself. She never responded. But I swear, some days, her breathing felt different, like she was listening. And then came the dreams. I'd see her, walking through rain, laughing, whispering my name. I didn't even know her voice, but in my dreams, I heard it. I was falling for a girl who didn't know I existed. And somehow that didn't scare me. It healed me. The nurses said she'd been in a coma for 4 months. A car crash, no family nearby, no visitors. Just me now. A stranger who kept showing up. And then, that day happened. It was late. Almost 10 p.m. The hallway lights were dim, and the rain outside hit the windows like soft tapping fingers. I sat beside her like I always did. I was telling her about this dream I had, where we were on a rooftop, eating pizza under fairy lights. She laughed in the dream. I remember that laugh even now. Suddenly, something changed. Her hand twitched. I stopped mid-sentence. I leaned in closer, afraid to breathe. Her lips parted, while her eyes moved under her lids. And then, she opened her eyes. I froze. Samantha? She looked right at me, her eyes soft, deep, and strangely calm, like they'd known mine for years. She blinked slowly, tried to speak, but no sound came. I stood to call the nurse. She grabbed my wrist, weak, trembling. And then she kissed me. Her lips found mine like it wasn't the first time. Like she knew exactly what she was doing. Like we had been waiting for this moment together. Tears spilled from my eyes, and I didn't even know why. She pulled back, and in the quietest voice I've ever heard, she said, "I heard you." My heart nearly stopped. I heard every word, Liam, every story, every secret, every joke. You thought I was gone, but your voice kept me here. You were my light in the dark. I couldn't speak. I fell in love with you, she whispered, even while I was asleep. I dropped to my knees beside her bed and held her hand like it was the most fragile thing in the world. She was real, alive, awake, and she loved me back. I just looked into her eyes, and she looked back into mine. She stayed in the hospital for another 2 weeks. We talked about everything. Her crash, the days before it, the dreams she had while in the coma. You were always there, she said. Your voice. I didn't know your face at first, but I felt you. Every time she spoke, I felt my heart swell. She had the softest voice, like wind brushing through leaves, and when she laughed, it was exactly like in my dreams. Now, months later, we walk hand in hand through the same hospital corridor where I first saw her. Sometimes she teases me. You fell in love with a sleeping beauty. And I smile, because she's right. But it wasn't just her beauty. It was her silence, her stillness, her strength. Even in her quietest state, she pulled me out of my own darkness. And now we write a new chapter every day together, wide awake.